Welcome back. Russian President Vladimir Putin is arriving in India today for an official visit. His first trip to the country in 4 years and the first since the Russia-Ukraine war escalated in February 2022. Security has been significantly tightened across New Delhi ahead of this bilateral engagement. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will personally host President Putin for a private dinner this evening at his official residence 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, marking the leaders' first meet since the much talked about meet at the SCO summit in China. Let us now take a look at the key pacts expected to be signed between India and Russia during President Putin's key visit. In fact, let's look at those areas that we will be looking to expand cooperation in, and also some of the deals that are expected to be looked at during this high stakes meet. So, Putin India key pacts that may be signed. Remember, these are very likely pacts. Number 1 is advanced missile systems. Joint development of advanced variants of the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile is also likely. So, remember that one of the major talked about things between India and Russia's military cooperation is the joint development of the BrahMos supersonic missile system, and India will look at introducing more of a joint development of these advanced missile systems, and they will look at exploring work on extending the range of these BrahMos systems. So, remember, this is something that India also looks to export to some countries in the Indo-Pacific region. So, they are looking to expand the range of these missiles. Secondly, we are looking at the S-400 defense systems, one of the most important defense systems that played a very important role during Operation Sindoor. So, India is looking to procure 280 S-400 Sudarshan Chakra air defense missiles. So, remember why this is called a Sudarshan Chakra is because this S-400 air defense system is put on and is integrated with an indigenous air defense system over here in India, and hence it gives this overall name of a Sudarshan Chakra. So, India is looking for more squadrons of that. There, on the energy and nuclear front, there is likely to be an agreement on small modular reactors, and they will also review the progress on the Kundakulam nuclear power plant units 5 and 6. So, India and Russia are already in joint talks about the Kundakulam nuclear power plants. Now, they are looking to start work on the 5th and 6th units as well. Now, the India-Eurasian Economic Union Free Trade Agreement. So, we are also looking at trade. So, on that front, we are looking at a free trade agreement over here. This also will be very likely. Number 5, agreement on mobility of skilled and semi-skilled workers. Remember, Russia is suffering a lot because of the Ukraine war. So, it is in need of a lot of skilled and semi-skilled workers, and over here India has a chance to put out their people and send in more people or workforce. Number 6, MoUs on trade, healthcare, agriculture, media and cultural exchanges. So, these are some of the various important pacts that are likely to be signed when the summit actually is underway. Now, the program for the development of strategic areas of Russian-Indian economic cooperation until 2030. Remember that 2030 is a very important phase because India and Russia are looking at increasing their trade to $100 billion US by that time, and hence they are looking at development of all strategic areas in that front till 2030. So, this is some of the agreements that India and Russia might look at during this high stakes meet. Joining us on the broadcast is Karori Singh, Foreign Affairs expert. Thank you, sir, for joining us. We appreciate your time. A very good morning to you. We are looking at a high stakes meeting, sir, and some very important agreements that are likely to be signed between both the countries. How are you looking at this summit?
You see, ma'am, you have identified expected takeaways from the meeting, Putin and Prime Minister Modi meeting. And it's a long list you have identified. There might be some more issues as well. Apart from ceremonial events, the talk and the business meeting and the diplomatic implications of these meetings are very important. You have identified so many areas. That India challenge is India has a huge trade deficit with Russia. India-Russia trade is nearly $59 billion right at the moment. So India-Russia both aspires to take it up to the 100 billion. But the trade deficit is not favorable to India. So how India can attempt to balance the trade deficit with Russia, that is the big challenge. Major focus of India is on India's security and defense cooperation. And in that respect, Russia is the most reliable partner and the friend indeed. So Russia is having the partnership to the extent that Russia agrees to have a joint production. Already Russia and India have a joint production in India of AK-203 and the BrahMos missile. Apart from that, S-400 and other air defense systems are also expected to have in a joint production system over a period of time. So in this way, it will be the very fruitful visit. But in terms of diplomacy, I think there are certain hitch or snakes, I should say, because just at the eve of Putin's visit to India, India is the host, Putin is the guest, and the two major European countries head of the missions in Delhi, Japan, Germany, France, or Britain. They have written an article in Times of India criticizing the Putin's visit. So it's uncalled for Indian situation because the foreign mission heads are not supposed to write such article. It is a very embracing position for India, though our External Affairs Ministry made it clear that they should not write article like this. So these are the diplomatic, because Russia and Ukraine war is going on, and European countries and United States have a deep differences, and because of that differences, these European countries are not happy with Putin's visit to India. Apart from that, Russia is insisting to revive China, India, Russia trilateral mechanism, which is known as RIC. So how India will respond to that? Definitely Putin will talk about reviving the RIC. So India might not be interested in reviving the RIC at this point of time, because now China and Russia have a very close relations. And in that RIC, I think India may not get the right share which India wants. And at the same time, the Western developed countries may not be happy with that revival of the RIC mechanism. Russia is interested, as you have also noted, that Eurasian Economic Union, Russia is planning to expand it, incorporating China, India, and other countries. I don't think Russia will be successful in expanding that Eurasian Economic Union, though India may propose for the free trade with Eurasian Economic Union, and even with the Russia, free trade can be a very good exercise. So in that point of view, I think it will be a successful visit. But India, at a point of time, tried to make little distance from Russia in terms of heavy dependence on Russia. India tried to divert towards the United States and European countries. But now again, India realized that Russia can be a reliable partner in fulfilling India's defense and security requirements. So India is again coming to Russia. It is a healthy sign for both. India and Russia is the win-win situation. So I think India and Russia will be closer partners, and Russia has again told it that India-Russia partnership is going beyond a privileged, comprehensive strategic partnership, and it's what they had with China, that what we call that close friendship with China. So Russia wants a greater friendship with India, partly because of the international pressures, partly because of Russia wants to give the Western countries a message that I am not alone despite your sanctions. China, India, these huge big countries, they are standing with me. So Russia, it is more in Russia's interest, but India will also be gaining through this visit. Yes, overman.
Right. Mr. Singh, also do you believe, when we are looking at this entire thing, you have spoken about how India tried to reduce its dependence on Russian imports because it was looking at a large trade deficit, but then India moved towards the West and now it is coming back, so it is a good sign, it is a sign of a healthy relationship. But we are also looking at Russia, which is a very pragmatic country. So it is offering technology transfer, it is offering production in India. So in a way it is giving a boost to our Make in India program as well, and that is why India is leaning towards Russia. Also, do you think that this entire timing of this summit is very important? Because remember that this comes at a time when the West is putting heavy sanctions on both Russia and India. So, here are these two countries who are telling the West that this is not a bipolar world anymore, it is a multipolar world. We are going to flex our own muscle. We are two strong nations and we will stay together no matter how many sanctions you put on us. Isn't it, Mr. Singh?
Yes, you see that every nation is pragmatic to serve its own interests in international relations. Nothing is charity in international relations. So what you have referred the timings, you see, it is easy to conduct relations in a polarized world, but it is very difficult to conduct relations among the nations in a fragmented world. Now the world is completely fragmented. Under such a situation, the countries require diplomatic skills and the negotiating competency more than in the polarized world. And here in India tried to move towards West for fulfilling its security requirements, reducing heavy dependence on Russia. But India did not have a encouraging experience because the Western countries, including United States and European countries, they were reluctant to transfer the technology. Whereas Russia is ready to transfer the technology and in the co-production framework. And one more important is the historical experience. India had a failed test of India's foreign policy in 1971. Thereafter, in 1998, when India had a nuclear test. On both the occasions, Russia and earlier the USSR stood with India. Besides
Right.
that,
All right.
in
Thank you so
United
much,
Nations,
sir.